on guard duty.
Hello, my name is Wyatt Springer. Today I'd like to talk about picking and choosing a custom frame. There are several things you need to think about when you're picking a frame for your project, and I'd like to go through each individually. To begin with, we're going to look at the types of moldings. That's the first thing you want to look at. And the molding is the actual frame itself. There are many different kinds, and they're used for many different things. One of the first things you want to look at is what matches your piece the best. Secondly, you want to look at, will it fit the piece that you're trying to frame? And lastly, you want to look at, will it fit the decor of your house or office, wherever it may be going. The most important is how it matches the work of art. Secondly, you want to make sure that it fits. And when I say make sure it fits, what I mean by that is, do you need a shadow box, which would be a deeper frame? Do you have a thick canvas, maybe 3 inches, where your molding's only 1? And there'll be an overhang in the back. So all those things are things to consider when looking at moldings. The next most important part of the framing experience is glass or glazing. Now, one of the things we talk about when we talk about glass is UV protection. So all 3 that I'll be detailing today are UV protected, which means that they block the sun's rays from damaging your artwork, as does the glazing or acrylic. The first type of glass is the UV regular, and that is your standard everyday glass. It's by far your most popular glass because it's most economically friendly. It's a very good glass. It does show glare though, which is the only downside to it. So that moves us on to non-glare glass, or frosted. Also UV protected. It has one side of the pane of glass frosted that allows the glare to be completely dampened. Now there are some advantages and disadvantages to non-glare glass. First disadvantage being it is a little bit more expensive than your UV regular. The second is that it tends to give you a matte finish to your art. But it's very useful in places like businesses with fluorescent lights, harsh lighting, larger houses with big windows or big doors. They get a lot of sunlight in. The last type of glass is the best. It is called museum glass. Now, museum glass is 99% UV protected. It's about the thickness of a camera lens. And while not being fully non-glare, it will dampen the glare. When you look at a piece that has museum glass, it almost looks as if there isn't any type of glazing glass on it. The downside of museum is it can be up to 4 times more expensive than using regular. But it's something to think about when you're framing a piece. You have to weigh the cost with the clarity. Your other option is an acrylic or a plexiglass. They are extremely good for large pieces where glass would be too brittle or too expensive to manufacture. They're also very good for shipping an item, or if you ever have a worry about it maybe dropping or falling because plexiglass is nearly indestructible. Okay, the next part that you would look at when you're doing a framing is, do I need matting? Now, if you're framing, let's say, a canvas piece, no, you would not need matting. But for prints, photos, various other types of paper art, matting often enhances the look and feel of the picture. And matting ranges in colors and textures. But the main thing you want to look at when you're doing a matting is to make sure that it's acid-free. In the past, people have always used paper mats, and you get that brown ring around your artwork, which will ruin the value. So with an acid-free mat, that is completely eliminated. It'll be archival quality from now until eternity. Lastly, you will look at the backing. There's 2 types of backing that is used primarily in framing right now. And that is a foam board and an acid-free foam board. In the past, cardboard was used, but that has gone by the wayside because of the amount of acidity that's in cardboard. And you'll get that acid burn on the back of your piece. Now, we look at foam board. It's a pH-neutral board of foam. But most framers will recommend an acid-free foam board, meaning it's only about $1 or $2 more than the regular foam board. And while the regular foam board is pH neutral, no one's exactly sure how it will affect your artwork over long periods of time, whereas acid-free is acid-free forever. In conclusion, I'd like to thank you all for coming. And I really hope that I was able to guide you when you're looking to frame a piece of artwork into the steps you need to take to choose the right molding, glass, matting, and backing for your piece. Thank you.
Well done.
Well done.